Hello there and welcome to another A Star to G briefing. We looked at word processing a little while back and we had a think about Microsoft Word and what it was good and what it was bad at, and also tried to come up with some other word processors and other tools that might be out there for your jobs as teachers. I've been discussing that with other people, of course, as you always do, and I've got here a list of the 5 top tips for Microsoft Word for you. These aren't the things that you would expect. They're certainly not things like the macros and the really advanced features. They're actually some of the really straightforward and common sense ideas. So here we are, the top 5 tips for Microsoft Word. Right, tip number 1, tables, not text boxes. I hate text boxes. You put them in over here with this thing, draw a square and type in them. Hate them. The thing to use are your tables, and you've got a menu option for them to draw in a new table. So you can add tables that look like this, or you can add in tables that look like this and turn the grid lines off, change the colouring. Tables are the way to go. In fact, designers use tables to do the entire page of almost every document they do, and I think that's a really good thing to try and hit for. So tip number 1, tables, not toolboxes. No, tables, not text boxes. Tip number 2, the Format Painter. This is the tool up at the top of the bar here. It allows you to copy the way things are formatted, like this title here, to new things, and allows you then quickly to change titles and change the headings and change the way things look. It's a really quick, sensible little tool to use, and it will save you a huge amount of time to do that. So I would thoroughly recommend you use the Format Painter. Tip number 3 is the view options. Now, the view menu here has got these sections here which are a bit strange and you don't use them very often. Well, I think they're really, really good. The draft view allows you to view your page without too many distractions. The web layout allows you to look at it as if it was a web page. And Outline uses a hierarchical system so that you can lay out things in terms of layers and work in outline mode. I think that's a really, really good way of working. I use a separate program most of the time to do my outlining, but Word does it brilliantly well. And then the print layout is the one that we tend to default use, which is this one, which is the same size as the page set up on your printer. And a final one to mention is the full screen view. Here we go, which turns off all the distractions from elsewhere on the computer screen. So you've got a nice straightforward document to use. Very, very helpful. Escape just to get out of that. And you can use this little bar at the bottom to select whichever view you like. So tip number 3 is the view options. Tip number 4, keyboard shortcuts. Try and get into using keyboard shortcuts. You probably use already Command C and Command X and Command V. That's for Command X is cut, Command C is copy, and Command V is paste, or Control X, Control C, or Control V if you've got a PC. Those keyboard shortcuts are kind of standard. They're under your fingers and you don't have to take your fingers off the keyboard to do really, really common movements. You don't have to touch the mouse. I thoroughly recommend you get into keyboard shortcuts. It will save you an awful lot of time, especially if you use a laptop and don't use a mouse that often. Using the little trackpads can be a real time waster. So definitely tip number 4, keyboard shortcuts. But tip number 5, and the most popular whenever I talk about what are your top 5 tips for Microsoft Word, is undo. And it's Control Z on the PC or Command Z on the Mac. Just undoes your last piece of editing, and they're really, really useful things to do. If you go up to the menu bar and have a look at the undo and redo buttons, you've actually got drop-down menus, and you can you've got lots of different. If you've got 40 different actions to undo, you'll have a list of 40 things to do that you can undo, and then similarly for redo. Undo is a really, really useful tool. Gets you out of all sorts of little mistakes, and something that is a real, definitely good top tip. So there you have it. Top 5 tips for Microsoft Word. Thank you very much.